Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Final Whistle. Kevin Walsh alongside David Giacomino. Pardon me for standing, but I just have a little too much energy, so I'm standing while I do this. We're going to do some NFL Pick Ems. We didn't get to do them yesterday on the show because we were interrupted by Mike DeMurgis. No, I'm kidding, but we're doing all baseball, so we do want to talk a little football, Thursday night football, so we're doing it right in time. And that game, we have the Colts starting Matt Hasselbeck playing division rival, the Houston Texans. Dave, what do you think about this one?
Well, the Colts barely got by last week with Matt Hasselbeck, and I think they're barely going to get by this week just for the fact of the matchups, because the Texans are not very good.
You know what, man? I picked the Colts because I thought Luck was going to start. Now that Luck's not starting, I got to go to Texans. I don't think Matt Hasselbeck can pull out another win.
The fact that they're still starting
Ryan
Mallett,
he's nice.
Did you see how he did last week?
Ryan Mallett's nice.
They take him out. They're losing by a lot. Let's just put it that way.
Brian
Hoyer comes in. He did solid. You know, he scored.
But that's what happened week one. Brian Hoyer looked horrible, and then Ryan Mallett comes in and looks solid. So
yeah.
They're so back and forth.
That's why I don't think anything is going.
They're each going to start 8 games this season.
Yeah, that's never a recipe for success.
Absolutely not. So, but I do have the Texans. I think Arian Foster maybe has a good game.
Okay.
I'd like to see him bounce back from that return
they said
game.
Hasselbeck's kind of roughed up too. They said neither of them practiced much this week.
Their O-line is terrible.
Yeah.
Their O-line is terrible.
And I think that has a lot to do with the struggles of Andrew Luck.
Absolutely.
You know, he has no time.
Yeah.
So, but I'm still giving the edge to the Colts.
Okay, we got the Bears going to the Chiefs. Now, Jay Cutler, Jesus Christ, as Martellus Bennett would call him, did look good against the Raiders. 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, over 250 yards. Pull an upset? I think
it's about time the Chiefs win because
their schedule's been so tough, man.
They've been playing well, but nothing has gone their way, and their schedule has been brutal. And I'm giving them the benefit. I'm gonna say they win.
Yeah, I like the Chiefs in this one too. I still think the Chiefs are a very good football team. They've just had a brutal schedule.
Yeah.
Going to Lambeau, going to Cincinnati. Those are 2 undefeated teams right there. And the Broncos, who are also undefeated.
And who they should have beaten.
So it's been a brutal schedule for the Chiefs, and they get what should be a gimme against the Bears this week at home.
You would think so, but
yeah. That's me. This is the game of the week here. This is a game that I would sit and watch all 4 quarters of, unless it becomes a blowout. Seattle is going to Cincinnati. Now, Seattle, for those who are unaware, are 2-2, and they started the season 0-2. Cam Chancellor is literally making Seattle's management look so bad. They haven't given up a touchdown since he's come back.
And he's probably giving himself a couple extra more money.
Yeah, it is insane. They shut out the Bears, which you would think is not a big deal. Jimmy Clausen started the game, but they did what they're supposed to do, and they shut him out. Then they come and play the Lions. No touchdown. They had a touchdown, and Cam Chancellor pops the ball out of the end zone. Now, the Seattle gets a really ridiculous luck as KJ Wright bats the ball out of the end zone. Referee standing right there. I have no idea what happened. Doesn't make a call. Seattle moves on. Now they're 2-2. The Bengals are 4-0. Cincinnati right now, I think, looks like the best team in football. Better than the Packers, because Andy Dalton looks amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I think I'm going with the Bengals
as well.
So I think that they've just impressed. They really have impressed me, and this is now to see what we will see what the Seattle defense looks like. You know, against the real matchup.
Both teams, I think too, because the defense of Seattle has kind of got back to the whole Legion of Boom and that fearful thing. Like I said, they haven't given up a touchdown since Cam Chancellor came back. That's impressive.
I want to see what they do this week.
That's impressive. They've given up the defense is responsible for giving up 3 points.
Very, very impressive.
That's insanely impressive. So I think it's going to be a good one to see how this goes, to see if Andy Dalton can win a big game here, because it's a big game early on in the season. But they get this one, move on to 5-0. That's a statement.
And it's one step closer to the playoffs, and it looks like they're clear cut. They might even get a first round bye, who would have thought that at the beginning of the season? I don't think you said first round bye. You said playoffs, though.
I told you that they were going to win that division, and I told you that they were one of the better
That doesn't mean
teams.
a first round bye.
first round bye because I know honestly if you really would have thought about it, I said the Patriots weren't winning the division, and I said the Broncos weren't either. So I told you the Bengals were going to be really good.
All right, I'll give you credit on that word, Stu.
Now because now I'm going to have to hear you take credit for this, and it's going to happen every single time. The Redskins are going to Atlanta to play the Falcons. Falcons are 4-0. Redskins 2-2. Beat the Eagles on a late game-winning drive. Kirk Cousins showing maybe he is better than thought out to be. Here's a quick thing. If you haven't looked at it yet, the Falcons have maybe the easiest schedule I've ever seen a team have. They might win 13 games.
That's one of the reasons why in the beginning of the season I told you to look out for them, because their schedule was so light, and I thought that Matt Ryan would be able to get through the defenses that he's going to play, and he has.
Devonta Freeman has really been the difference maker.
He's been
3
huge.
touchdowns in back-to-back weeks. He could have had a 5-touchdown game last week.
And the fact that whenever Matt Ryan's in trouble, he just goes, you know what, I'm just going to throw it up to Julio Jones, and he's just going to go get it. And
of course.
Even if he's triple covered.
Yeah. It's been extremely impressive. I think the Falcons move on to 5-0. I'm sure you agree.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
And I think that I think this team might win 13 games. And that's a lot of games. 13-3 is an amazing record. That's a first-round bye most seasons. So, you're going to have to see how that one shakes out for sure. Now, here's a game that's going to be close, and a game I think that is interesting and normally never would be interesting. Jacksonville against Tampa Bay. And here's why I say it's interesting, right? Texans look atrocious. Colts look atrocious. And the Titans are still the Titans. Marcus Mariota, whatever. The Jaguars were a made field goal away from being in first place in their division. Blake Bortles has actually looked pretty good this year. I hate to say it, but the Jaguars maybe make a push for the playoffs at 7-9, coming out of the AFC South. Maybe the worst division I've ever seen.
I want to think that Andrew Luck and the Colts will get it together.
He's not playing Thursday, which is today. He's not playing.
Hey, the matchup is in their favor. I think they're still going to win that game. I don't know.
I'm just saying. I think that's.
Who are you taking in this game?
I got the Jaguars. I think Blake Bortles he's impressed me.
I'm going with the Bucks. I think.
Famous Jameis?
Yeah, they've looked up and down. They've looked okay.
Yeah,
they've been very inconsistent.
I think that they are. This year is going to be a real process where they figure out how good is Mike Evans? How much can we count on Vincent Jackson? Is Jameis Winston our true franchise quarterback? Doug Martin, is that our franchise running back? Looked real good last week. Pair of touchdowns.
This whole team, though, is just very inconsistent. Like, one week they look good. One week, like, what is this team? Like, they should not win a game all year. So I think they'll be okay. I think they'll be okay against that defense. I think they'll win the game.
Yeah. Now, we have the Saints going to Philadelphia. The Eagles have looked horrible. There's no two ways about it.
And there's no reasoning behind it. Like, I
have the reasoning, in my opinion, at least.
Well, I'll say this: like earlier, it doesn't take over 4 games to get cooperated with the system, get chemistry together with the team. Like, it's past that point. I don't know what it is.
For me, this is how I've described it. You get rid of the Deshaun Jackson. You get rid of LaShawn McCoy. You get rid of Jeremy Maclin. You get rid of Nick Foles. You do all those things. You get rid of Trent Cole. Those are big players. And those players you can actually replace. DeMarco Murray's very good. He's got a number of receivers to try to make up for certain numbers. Jordan Matthews is good. Nick Foles, Sam Bradford, whatever. I don't know how much you trust either quarterback necessarily. Here's the biggest problem. Todd Herman's Evan Mathis, 2 of the better guards in football, okay? He gets rid of both of them. Thought he could put anyone in at guard. That's why DeMarco gets touched before he ever can even see the line of scrimmage. That's why Sam Bradford looks terrified for his life. And that's why the defense is on the field all the time.
I think that they're using DeMarco Murray terribly wrong, because he is not a side-to-side runner. He's a full power runner. He's given the ball, and he's going to run straight through you. And they're giving him the ball in like the pistol, in his shotgun. That's not what he does. And then he's trying to go to the outside. He's not quick enough to go to the outside. He's gonna pound the ball in the middle and go through you. And that's not what I haven't seen him do that once.
I think maybe what their one option could be, and I think that I don't know. I haven't seen it very much, but I think this is what they need to do: 2 running back sets. That's where I think that they need to come out in.
Is it Is it like is it a coincidence that the game that Ryan Matthews starts, he goes for over 100 yards?
Most people don't think so, to be honest.
Yeah.
Most people think that's because Ryan Matthews is the better fit for the offense.
Exactly. He's more of a side-to-side runner. He's not gonna ground and pound, go through like punch you in the middle. You know.
Well, that's why I said if they go with a 2 running back set where they're starting to field defense, Ryan Matthews to the side, Ryan Matthews to the side. Now we hand it to one of the best running backs, DeMarco Murray up the middle. There has to be something that goes on in that locker room that they can figure out. And I mean, and they have a chance this week at home. The Saints have looked good.
Who are you taking?
Not I have.
I'm going with the Saints, because they showed enough that they could still get the job done. I still don't like them as a team. Like they're not.
Drew Brees did look good though. On Sunday Night Football, Drew Brees did look
Sean
good.
Payton did a very good job of putting him in good positions to succeed. And because they said his shoulder was hurting, he can't throw the ball downfield much, but he was throwing him short, and he was getting the job done. I think they'll win the game.
I gotta go with the Eagles. I think you know what?
You have to go with the Eagles.
I think one of the things that I'm looking for was is how they use DeMarco, because Jimmy Graham complains I'm never part of the offense, and then they go and they throw him a touchdown, had his best game of the season. DeMarco complains I'm not getting the ball. Chip Kelly acknowledges that, and I think maybe they make a shift. I think we'll have to see though.
Yeah.
Now we got some games that we might be able to move through a little quickly here, because there might not be much to really debate. Browns, Ravens escape really with a Thursday night football win behind the leg of Justin Tucker. The Browns haven't looked great, to be honest.
They looked okay last week. They didn't look too bad.
I think that I would have to go with the Ravens here, despite the fact that Steve Smith is out. That's a big injury, because they truthfully have not a single receiver that you would recognize if he walked by you.
I was back and forth in this one, because I don't think the Browns have looked as bad as you think. Josh McCown did okay last. He did pretty good. He's not turning the ball.
So
over.
You're not calling for Johnny anymore?
I still am calling for Johnny. I'm definitely calling for Johnny. I think it's the stupidest thing in the world that he's not playing, but I'm going with the Ravens.
Okay. Packers at home, hosting the Rams. The Rams only beat their division.
I don't see
Evidently.
anybody beating the Packers the way Aaron Rodgers is playing.
The way the team is playing, they didn't look amazing against the 49ers. Their defense impressed a little bit more than you would think that they would have had more points than 17 against the 49ers. You would have thought that. They didn't.
Aaron Rodgers still Aaron Rodgers.
You only have one touchdown. I'm not saying Rodgers had a bad game, but I'm just saying you would have thought more.
Yeah.
You would have thought more.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
But I of course I have the Packers in this one. Of course. The Bills are going to Tennessee to play the Titans. We did this show, right? Okay. Everyone picked the Titans to win. Before the Bills lost to the Giants, not a person in the world would have ever thought to pick the Titans. I'm picking the Titans, and I don't know why. I think that's you know what? No, I'm
going with Bills, because
um,
they've shown flashes of what they can do if they don't have 20 penalties a game like they did last week.
Yeah, you know what? I don't think Marcus Mariota is going to be able to handle Rex Ryan's defense, so I'm changing that up. I got the Buffalo Bills in this game. I have to. As good as I think Marcus Mariota has been and has shown he is, they've had 2 weeks to prep for the game though.
I think that's I
have to go with my original pick. I don't know what that is at this point. I'm going so back and forth. I feel like you. I got the Titans though.
I'm going Bills.
It's a good pick. Now I've never felt worse maybe for an organization than the Detroit Lions. Their schedule has been insane. The batted ball no call against them. They're the one team that went 0-16. They're 0-4. They might be going 0-5 because they're playing the Cardinals. They are home though. Cardinals taking their first loss to the Rams. What do you think?
I don't think the Lions is not. It's not the time for the Lions.
I disagree. I think they're going to open up the offense more. I think that they've been playing way too conservative, and I think they're going to say, you know what, this is stupid. Stafford, go throw the ball.
No,
go throw the ball.
It's not that time.
I think that's going to be their response, and I think it's going to be awesome to see. And I think that Calvin Johnson needs to take this game very personally. Patrick Peterson has given up total 85 yards on the season against him.
Why are you writing off the Cardinals? And
I'm not writing off the Cardinals. I don't like. Last year I wasn't a big believer on the Cardinals. I'm still not like this huge believer on the Cardinals. And I think the Lions are so much better than 0-4. That means that they're the worst team in football. They're not the worst team in football. They're better than actually a lot of teams in football. I think they're better than the Eagles.
Yeah.
They're better than the Saints, the Browns, the Ravens, the Bears, who have a victory. They're better than the Raiders, who have 2 victories. The Redskins. They are better, in my opinion, than almost, half of the league. I think that they'd probably be in the top 16 teams.
They have no running game.
Amir Abdullah
which is killing them.
hasn't shown what I think a lot of people thought. Joique Bell has been out. That has been tough for them. But this is the thing. They are refusing to admit that. They need to just let Stafford throw the ball 50 times.
That's what he did years back. He just like, all right, you know what, Calvin, I'm throwing you the ball. They're not going to stop you.
I think Calvin needs to have a big game. He needs to show that he's still Megatron.
For the sake of my fantasy team, I hope he does.
I got the lines in this one. Now, we got the Patriots-Cowboys. This game is probably
50-6.
I don't know. I mean, of course you have to go with the Patriots. The offense, I just, on a week-to-week basis, want to know if anyone is going to slow down Tom Brady, Gronk, and Edelman.
No.
I mean, I think it'll be interesting to see. I'll tell you this, though. If Romo and Dez were here, I think the Cowboys actually would have, stormed away with the division and stuff.
Yeah, I definitely think that. I told you that in the beginning of the season. I thought they would win this division because I didn't think anybody was capable. I didn't think any team was good enough to hang with them.
And then this would have been a good game.
Yeah.
But
I still think the Patriots would have won convincingly, but
I don't know about that. Well, you don't know how Romo and Dez didn't look that great anyway. Week 1, who knows? A lot up in the air. It doesn't matter because neither of them are playing. Tom Brady is playing, who wasn't supposed to play in this game. So what are you going to do about it?
This would have been his first. No, you're right, actually, because they had a bye week last week. Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you going to do? Romo's supposed to play, and he's not, and then Brady is. Broncos, Raiders. Raiders are home.
I'm going with the Broncos. The Raiders have looked, but I will say the Raiders have impressed me.
Yeah.
Amari Cooper, he's a stud.
Yeah, absolutely. He was worth the pick.
And
here's what I got for you. I got the Broncos. Broncos best defense in football.
Yeah, which I told you that in the beginning.
You did not say the Broncos had the best defense in football. Why is every show? I told you this. I told you this. I told you this.
No,
Dave.
I did say the.
Do you want to go over everything that you also like? Come on. You said the Broncos defense is going to be good. We all know the Broncos defense is good. What I'm telling you is that the Broncos have the best defense in football.
My fantasy team thanks them. My fantasy team is. Thank you very much. That's all I gotta say.
And now the Sunday night game, the Giants, who should be 4-0, 2-2, going up against the 49ers. Giants are home. Giants
What
for
a
a
terrible Sunday night game again. 3 straight weeks. I'm going.
Last week's game was a good game.
I mean, yeah, it was a good game.
It wasn't the best players on the planet, but it was a good game.
I'm clearly going with the Giants. This is the Giants division to take right now.
Absolutely.
They
should be 4-0.
Yeah.
They should be 4-0. If they're 4-0, people would be talking about the Giants maybe as a Super Bowl team. I'm being honest.
I'm not going that far.
They would have been.
No,
if they
I
were
wouldn't.
4-0.
I wouldn't.
They would have been if they would have won that game against Tony Romo. That's big. They hold off that offense of the Falcons. That's big.
Their defense is not.
And
good
then
enough.
I mean they beat the Redskins convincingly, and that Bills win was impressive in Buffalo. That was an impressive victory. You
Yeah.
have to admit that.
Yeah, against the Rex Ryan defense.
So, but I mean, obviously, they're 2-2.
Yeah.
Final game, Monday night game, Steelers-Chargers. Chargers home. Mike Vick, can he get it done?
He showed promise in the first half last week, but I don't think it's no.
I think Vic gets it done.
Yeah?
I think Vic gets it done. I think Vic might have a nice game here.
I like the Chargers. I
I don't. I think they're bad.
I was always in favor of Philip Rivers. It just never happened.
I think if they go anything better than 8-8, I'd be extremely shocked.
All right, I still think they're better than the Steelers though.
I don't know. We'll have to see. But that's all the time we have. Final whistle. K. Walsh, Dave Giacomino. We'll see you guys next time.